we couldn't decide before we started recording what to lead with. What is your gut feeling?
Nintendo, let's do
We'll
it.
do Nintendo. Bam! I told you. Just on the moment you'll know. So there was a little Nindy Direct this week, which I completely missed. It was funny because I think you sent me something. I was like, oh cool, when's that happening? You're like, it happened.
Yeah, it happened like 2 days ago.
I was like, what? How did I miss this?
Yeah, so there's a new, what do they call them now? Indie World stream.
Yeah.
So not specifically indies only coming to Switch, but they showcase them as if they're only coming to Switch, really. Lots of cool games and also lots of shadow dropped games, which was quite surprising. So Polygon's got a rundown of everything that was there, so we'll just go through that. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, it's coming to Nintendo Switch. This is developed by Team Reptile, who also made Lethal League. And it's basically got a lot of the people who worked on Jet Set Radio back in the day. They've even got the composer back. So yeah, I mean, I've been super stoked for this game ever since it was announced because I'm like, yes, we definitely should get a new Jet Set Radio. I love Jet Set Radio Future specifically. But then I looked at the gameplay and I'm like, this is straight up almost like a remake of Jet Set Radio. Like even the levels look eerily like the same. And I'm like, that game is real old. So if it's just like the same shit,
then,
it needs to iterate on that. So
it needs to pull a God of War.
Yeah, I'm still keen. I'm still curious, but hoping that it's more than just a remember that shit from 20 years ago, type thing. So,
I love the name though, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it's such a bizarre name. It really
it's
is.
It's like take 3 words, well, 4 words, and just smash them together and see what you come up with.
I mean, Jet Set Radio made sense. It was the name of an actual radio station in game, and it was like a pirate radio station for rebel rollerbladers. Okay, it doesn't make much sense, but it makes more sense than Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Maybe the rebel rollerbladers, are called Cyberpunk, and they're rushing to plant bombs. There we go.
Wow, they're not even they've upgraded from just graffiti to bombs. My goodness. So that's coming out to Switch and other platforms in 2022. One of my favorite games of this year, Loop Hero, coming to Switch this holiday. You haven't played Loop Hero yet, have you?
But let me tell you, this is a game that I think would just be at home on Switch like every other damn game.
I'm curious to see how this UI works on Switch because, boy, there's a lot going on.
Teeny tiny.
Yeah. There's a lot going on in the UI, so yeah, curious. But if you don't know what Loop Hero is, it's sort of like a card-based RPG where the cards you use aren't directly influencing your attacks. You are essentially building out a level using cards. And you are building it out in a way that you optimize the loop that your hero goes around. Another one of those games where the hero is well aware of the roguelike nature that you are stuck in, which makes the story quite interesting. So yeah, it's a really good game. I really enjoyed it. So
nice. New Shovel Knight game, which
I totally forgot this game existed.
Yeah, I had no idea it was even coming out. Because they did, didn't they do a game recently, like this year or last year?
So they made a game called Shovel Knight Dig, which was sort of like it was a phone, sort of like a phone Shovel Knight where you're moving up and down. Essentially,
okay.
It's not like a traditional side-scrolling adventure. So they are definitely working with Shovel Knight in new avenues, and this is one of them. So this is like a sort of like a match 3 dungeon crawler, puzzle dungeon crawler, as they call it. Yeah, it had already been announced, but now there's a Switch version, so that's cool.
Bam. I think this
I still love the art. I think the art is
really nice. Shovel Knight is a real gem. Like a modern day, I mean, Shovel Knight's old now, but a modern day good modern day retro game.
Well, it was the first game I played on my Switch, and I really liked it.
Yeah, it is actually one of the first games I played on my Switch as well. This is something you're excited for.
Hell yeah, Tetris Effect coming to Nintendo Switch. I
Yeah.
mean, put Tetris Effect on all the platforms. It's already on PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. But having a Tetris game of this caliber on the go, fuck yes, I'm super
I have
stoked.
not played this game yet, believe it or not. So
Dude, it's so good. Like I'm curious to see it on Switch because like the game does have loads of like pixel effects and shit going on, but it's amazing. And
yeah.
this is Tetris Effect connected, so it does have the competitive and cooperative
Yeah.
multiplayer modes included.
But damn.
But yeah, this game is weird because it's got such an incredible soundtrack, but the soundtrack only works while you're playing because it incorporates your moves into the
Into
melody.
this.
So listening to it outside of the game feels super weird.
But I find that with some gaming soundtracks, it feels kind of. I mean, this is very rare, but sometimes it feels kind of flat when it doesn't have the context of what's happening in the game.
Yes.
I'm like, this is much better to play through than to just sit and listen.
That's essentially what happened.
My goodness.
So as part of this announcement, Nintendo also announced that Term and Metal Slug Tactics, which is that turn-based. It looks like Into the Breach, but Metal Slug. They're also coming to Switch. Metal Slug is only coming out next year. But Tetris Effect Connected is coming out October 8th. And
Nice.
I will 100% play that.
I'm very curious about that Metal Slug. I'd love to see how that is.
So keen.
Yeah.
So keen to give it a go. Yeah. This game looks incredible.
So I've heard so much about Eastwood, but I don't actually know what the hell it is.
Yeah, so it was announced in 2019, way back when. And it's published by Chucklefish, Stardew Valley, Risk of Rain, Starbound, Wargroove, all those good games. A lot of people have described it as similar to Mother, the famous Nintendo series. So it's like an action adventure in a very stylized, like 2D world. It almost looks like Junkyard World.
This is very cool.
It looks really good, and the soundtrack, oh my god.
Eastwood. So is this an RPG?
As far as I can tell, yes. It's not like turn-based, I don't think, but it looks very much like an action RPG. Yeah. Because if you look near the end, you can see like action happening in real time. So yeah. So that's coming out on September 16th. So that's soon. And then there were 7 games that were shadow dropped during the event. Some of which were quite big. Yeah, Axiom Verge 2 out now. You can go buy it like now.
You played the first Axiom Verge, eh?
I haven't yet. I really want to, because now that I've finished Symphony of the Night, which I can't even remember if I spoke about the ending or finishing that, but fuck, that game's great. Like, so good.
Don't remember either.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Anyway, that game, phenomenal.
Good time.
But yeah, Axiom Verge 1 is very much a game of that ilk, Metroidvania-ish, and Axiom Verge 2, I've heard, is less Metroidvania, or less Metroid, more Vania, so more exploration. So yeah, that's out now. Also out now on Switch that was announced then is Boyfriend Dungeon, another big indie that's been in development for a long time. Note that a lot of these games are on other platforms.
It's not Switch exclusive.
Axiom Verge is also on PlayStation and the Epic Games Store. So Boyfriend Dungeon, which is on Game Pass as well. Necro Barista Final Pour, which is a fantastic name for a game. Garden Story, which looks really cool. Sort of like, management type of sim and RPG melded into one. Islanders Console Edition, a very chill city builder. I played it on PC. I quite enjoyed it. Slime Rancher Plausible Edition, which is cute.
Amazing.
Slime Rancher is fun. So I like it's again another really chill game. Very cute, very cool art style. It's if you haven't it's on Xbox and it's great. Curious Expedition 2 also. And then we've got a bunch of release dates for some other Switch ports. So we've got the Astroneer
nice.
to Switch. Astroneer is a game either we need to play co-op on stream or you need to play with someone because you will love that game. I
didn't realize that game had co-op. I thought it was a single player game.
I played it single player. It's definitely better co-op. because you speed up a lot of the
The stuff.
early game, like
Okay.
getting set up. Yeah, it's great, and it's also one of those with like a central mystery. So
Okay.
there is a end point. You know what I mean?
Nice. Okay.
Then we've got 100 Days Winemaking Simulator. Okay, this
I love
winter.
that there are just simulators for everything. Like lawn mowing simulator came out last week,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken.
Got Power Wash Simulator as well.
And it was amazing because Lenska, she's obviously heard of farming simulator and like those sorts of games. But I took her down the rabbit hole it was this week. She's like, okay, cool. Show me the trailer for like Euro Truck Driving Simulator because she's also heard of it. Like, this actually looks kind of cool. Like, please don't fall down this rabbit hole. Don't do it.
A lot of people find it very soothing.
It's cathartic. I mean, in lawn mowing simulator, I watched the trailer. I was like, you literally mow lawns. But
those games are huge. Farm
Yeah.
Simulator is like one of the best-selling games in Europe. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Gang Beasts coming this winter. That's another game we should play.
Gang Beasts. My goodness.
And
Lumberjack.
Lumberjack.
I love the name.
So you a bear?
Must be.
I have to look this up.
Lumberjack.
Lumberjack on Steam. Jack is a humble bear with a simple dream. To return nature to its former glory with the help of his trusty actors and his animal friends. Looks great.
Oh my goodness, how cute is this?
Yeah, it's very cute.
So this is okay. Well, my trailer's not playing, but from what I saw, oh, look at that.
Oh, so it's not out. Yeah, it's only coming out in 2022. Looks very fun. Chop your way through forests, construction sites, and more exciting locations in a variety of puzzles which utilize elements in the world around you. Solve puzzles by tinkering with the environment. Reduce, reuse, and recycle waste to upgrade your chopping abilities. Save a quirky cast of animal friends and team up with them to save the day. Take down an evil corporation, dead set on destroying nature as we know it. Huh. Looks cool. Yeah, looks cool.
Yeah, planned release date 2022.
And then Far Changing Tides, which is a port of a it's like an adventure, like survival game, if I'm not mistaken.
Survival something.
So yeah,
cool.
Lots of Nintendo
all the
goodness.
Nintendo stuff, yeah. Next up on news. Do you like Grand Theft Auto? Do you like the first 3D Grand Theft Autos? Because if so, this news is for you.
I think I was, one of those people that always played them at friends but never owned them.
Never actually owned them, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd always, you know that thing where you'd go to a friend's house and you'd be like, damn, we can just fuck around in this game with cheats. We can do unlimited ammo.
Steal the car, get the tank, do something.
Never did the actual missions. So yeah, that's my experience with these 3 Grand Theft Autos.
So yeah, GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas remasters reportedly in the works for release this year on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC, and mobile. So now, I think that's cool for anyone looking to, relive that goodness from way back when. But I think it'll be interesting to play today purely because open world games have really come a long way since then. Those Grand Theft Autos, like I was telling you before we started recording, I distinctly remember seeing Grand Theft Auto 3 at a friend's house and being completely blown away by, oh my god, like this is a complete open world where I can go anywhere I want, which is, like you pointed out, it's a real cultural moment. Like imagine living that, whatever, But I think today those worlds will feel very empty in comparison to what we have.
Yeah.
Like even Grand Theft Auto 5, which came out, oh my god, like at the end of the PS3, however many years ago.
2013.
Yeah, like even
Crazy.
that was jam-packed with a whole lot of activities.
Yeah.
That was 8 years ago. Like now, modern day, you've come to expect a lot more from Grand Theft Auto games. Like GTA 6, I think is going to be insane with the amount of detail that they stuff into that. But yeah, look, I'm still keen to see how they look. I mean, if I were to pick one, San Andreas is obviously the latest release out of those 3 and probably the best out of all of them, I'd argue. And it was, I remember playing that. It was a fun GTA. You play as old CJ back in your hood, trying to get your shit together. It was a good time.
It's probably the, before GTA 5 came out, it was probably the most recognizable GTA. Like, I feel like everyone knows San Andreas, and I think the GTA 5 going back and exploring more of San Andreas and Los Santos was really part of the game's appeal. So yeah, that's cool. I'm with you though. Like, the reports here say that they are remasters. They are definitely aiming to capture the same feel of these games, not remake them. Even though they're being apparently remastered in the Unreal Engine. The UI is going to be kept similar, although it will be like spruced up a little bit for bigger resolution screens. So it's definitely, it seems like it's more work than a let's upres this thing, but not a remake. This isn't like GTA 5 but San Andreas. What I'm getting at. So yeah,
but I
that's
do
cool.
I do wonder if there will be any modern touches. Like, will you be able to hide behind cover, for example? I'm guessing maybe not.
That only came in GTA 4.
That's I remember playing, weirdly enough, I remember playing Vice City, and just like standing in the open, like, how am I supposed to survive this? how does this work? But yeah, look, I'm curious to see.
That's cool. The thing that caught my eye on this was that Rockstar is reportedly using the performance of these remasters as a gauge to see whether they should remaster other games, including the first Red Dead Redemption. Which,
that's good.
Listen, if they're gonna do that, just put it in the fucking Red Dead Redemption 2 engine. Just give me that.
Yeah.
I didn't like Red Dead Redemption 2 that much. That's fine. I love the first game. Like, adore that first game. So having a way to play that with like spruced up graphics, I'm fucking there day one. So yeah.
Damn. What next on news? Shall we dive to one of your highlights, maybe? Frostpunk 2, announced for PC.
Yes, I've spoken about Frostpunk on this podcast before. This game, it marries like a survival sim and moral simulator really with a city building management game. So essentially the premise of the first game is a deathly winter has fallen, the planet, and civilization is kind of like broken down, and you are part of a last group of survivors trying to keep humanity alive. And as such, you have to make some hard decisions, like, do you put into law things like child labor? Do you execute like religious zealots who are like sowing seeds of doubt in your workforce? Do you, everything is based on warmth. So which sectors of your city do you keep warmer than others to prevent workers from getting sick? Stuff like that. It's really good. It makes you make some really challenging decisions in the pursuit of survival. So this sequel takes place 30 years after you've supposedly survived the winter. And it seems like the new resource that is going to be central is oil.
Oil.
So maybe using oil to
keep that generator going.
Society, or something like that. So there's no release date. There was no gameplay, but fuck, if I'm excited I'm so excited for this game.
Look at this key art though. Jeez,
it's crazy. Yeah, it really captures the vibe of this game. Like cold, like really harsh gameplay elements. It's great. I think one of the coolest things about this game is that its sound effects and music can actually convey the feeling of being cold.
Good Lord.
Like, you play the game and you can, when the temperature drops or a spurt of even colder weather is coming in, you can feel that just through the audio. It's
nice.
Really, really good. Yeah, I'm excited for this game.
There we go. That's coming out. We actually don't have that much news this week, but we've got
oh my god.
So, Abandoned real-time experience app only contains a 5-second teaser. So, very quick recap.
You want to run us through the history of Abandoned?
So, like in 10, 20 seconds, Abandoned is a game coming out which people have been suspecting is the Silent Hill remake. There's ties to PT, there's ties to Kojima, but like we've seen over the past few months that maybe it's just a game that's coming out which the developer may or may not have played into the hype of, people's expectations. Is it a Silent Hill? Anyways, people have been like, well, we want to see this game, like give us some sort of hint. And after a long time, we finally got a 5-second teaser, which I've not watched. So maybe, have you seen it? Have you given your 5 seconds to this?
Someone walking on a wooden floor. That's it.
Oh, here we go. Here's a teaser. Let's see.
It's real fun. You have to go into like a minute of this thing because this is like the whole app at the moment. There's a teaser. If you go back a little bit there, that was it.
Hang on.
So this whole app. So instead of releasing a video, this developer, Blue Box Games, I think they're called, made a big deal of like, we are putting out this app which features a new way to experience trailers, which they say is a real-time experience. Now, at first I was like, well, that's just a demo.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. But it's actually worse than a demo because it's not you can't interact with it. It isn't gameplay. All it is instead of them recording gameplay and putting out a video, they are just rendering said gameplay in real time on your console. So the idea is like you can see how this is running on your console, but it's still non-interactive. So like it doesn't give you a sense of what the game is. So this app was meant to come out in like fucking June, I think.
Sure.
And it got delayed. It came out last week and it was broken. And they took a while to patch it. And then they finally get it up. And all there is this 5-second teaser and these like placeholders for more stuff coming soon.
Yeah. So
this thing is 5 gigabytes. What the fuck is this?
So for audio listeners, we've got the first one released. It's called Introduction. And you've got more coming called Cinematic Reveal. Then just one called Trailer. And then another called Release Trailer. And then gameplay demos, gameplay demonstration 1, gameplay demonstration 2. So like, I think, look, the idea of having an app where you get to see things real time, like that's pretty novel, right? But wouldn't it have been better to be like, here, we'll put you in this one room, which you can explore, for example. Because then you get a sense of the mood, the lighting, the movement,
PT was an hour-long demo.
Yeah, but you don't even need an hour-long demo. It's like you could literally put all your attention into one room, let people walk around it, have a look. Like that to me would be more like, oh, okay. Like this is a different kind of teaser. Yeah, it's not a 5-second logo. It's me getting to walk around, whatever. So this is just weird that it's like, I get the idea of like, this is rendered real time. This is so unique. But at the end of the day, it's like, I can just go to YouTube and watch this teaser.
I mean, they have said they're putting this out on YouTube as well. So it's like,
yeah,
I just don't get it. Like, and on top of it, I think the studio, they did a real Icarus. They flew way too close to the sun, where they kind of invited the speculation that this was more than it was. And, they did things like tweet out like, Abandoned isn't actually the name of the game. It starts with an S and ends with an L, and everyone's like, Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Like, if you know that sort of attention is coming at you already, to stoke those fires and then turn around and say, whoa, the attention has really fucked up the perception of this game. Like, you can't do that. Like, so
unless
I personally don't. No. I don't think this is a Hideo Kojima thing. I don't think this is this is anything other than an indie dev who's really fucked up like what they thought was a good idea. And I personally think like if you are taking months and months and months to put out what is essentially just a container for a demo, and that you struggle to release just this, how are you invoking a sense of like, how are people meant to trust that you can make a game if you're failing on these basic things? Like, it's a real bad advertisement for what eventually might be a game. It might not be. There's some really funny posts of people going, this thing is just going to fucking mine Bitcoin off your PS5 or something. I don't know. It seems real sleazy at the moment. And the way they keep trying to draw attention to themselves while showing really nothing and then complaining about the over-attention. So,
Unless the game director comes out on video and he pulls his mask off and it's Kojima, and Kojima says, "Hey, this is a Scooby-Doo game." You go, how did
this
this
is
happen?
this is the real time. You just see Fred in a really realistic ascot.
This
You
is
see the orange of Velma's jersey.
oh my god, this is a Scooby-Doo game set in the Stranding universe.
Dear God, let me out of here. Let's go
Yeah.
to the next news story. Just get me off this
Next,
bus.
let's get to more garbage quickly. So no surprise, more
God, yeah.
more Blizzard news this week. Diablo 4's game director is out. So I think this is Louis Barriga. Louis Barriga, I don't know how you want to pronounce it. And lead
Is
designer,
your Pora as well?
I don't know. And lead designer Jesse McCree departed in Battle Studio. So my first thing, I was like, Jesse McCree, is that not the same? Is that not the name of the Overwatch character? And turns out, yes. This dude is
He's
the
the
namesake
of the
of
character.
Overwatch's Good Cowboy, which makes me wonder. So these two have left, right? And I don't think there's details. I don't know if there's any details have come out other than they just no longer work there.
So the statement there you can read. We can confirm Louis Barriga,
As a
Jesse
third guy.
McCree,
Yeah.
and Jonathan Lacraft are no longer with the company. We have a deep and talented roster of developers already in place, and new leaders have been assigned where appropriate. We are confident in our ability to grow and progress, deliver amazing experiences to our players, and move forward to ensure a safe, productive work environment for all.
So, interestingly enough, I think was it all three of them, or one or two of these people were also in that infamous Cosby suit photo, Cosby suite photo that's been going around.
Yeah, so I don't know about the other two, but McCree was definitely
He
in
was
that.
there, yeah.
Yeah, and that was when I first heard his name. It was people going, "Oh, damn, the namesake for McCree is involved in this garbage, Bill Cosby sweet shit." So, yeah.
Yeah. So
It actually says that there in the article. Yeah.
But
He's
you
been
do,
with Blizzard since 2005.
which is just wild. I mean, after 16 years, but it does make me wonder. Just in this specific instance, like, what do you do now? With Overwatch, do you just leave that character in there, or do you?
I think you rename
you
it.
rename them. You have to. Yeah.
Apparently, I saw articles where the Overwatch League commentators were being told or shying away from mentioning McCree by name as a character.
The High Noon character is currently.
But like I was saying before this recording, like, it's really shit that this, it's great that this is coming to light. No question about it. But, there's this weird situation now where you see all the moves that Blizzard as a company made to, retcon, yes, but make their characters more inclusive, symbolic of like marginalized groups in Overwatch. You had like Soldier 76 being written as a gay character. You have the variety of like body types in Overwatch 2 and ethnicities of characters. And now you just constantly second guessing, was this done in good faith by people who believe in that, or was it done as a performative thing while using it as a shield to hide the garbage acts of people like Jesse McCree? So I don't know. It's real shit, but the garbage keeps getting thrown out in Blizzard, and this is good. I did see late yesterday as well, Astro Gaming, the peripheral maker, long-time sponsors of the Call of Duty League. They actually last year signed a contract to keep them as principal sponsors till 2022. They've pulled out just ahead of the World Champs.
Interesting.
So that's the sort of shit that will perk up Bobby Kotick's ears.
Over time.
Yeah. And it's good. That is good. Like, if the only thing that people listen to is money, then that's how you get it done.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens next week.
This has honestly been an ongoing weekly thing since the lawsuit came out like a month ago now.
The revolving door of garbage there.
Yeah. But last piece of news, which we're doing a complete 180 in the garbage and turning to Idris Elba is now Knuckles in the Sonic movie sequel, which is This is so wild. So he tweeted.
You could have given me 100 guesses, and I would have never
You'd never have
guessed
guessed, but he tweeted knock knock, and then
this. It
hashtag
was,
Sonic Movie 2, hashtag Knuckles, and then an image of Knuckles.
Knuckles,
Knuckles'
famous
hand.
gloves. Yeah. And then it was
Oh my God.
confirmed later on that he would be voicing Knuckles the Echidna in the sequel, which already features Tails. Although, if I'm not mistaken, the voice actor for Tails hasn't been announced. So, yeah, that's cool. Have you watched the Sonic movie?
I have not watched it yet.
It's fun. I watched it on a whim with Shawnee. We didn't go to the movies to watch it. We watched it well after release. And like, I got to the end of it and I was like, that was fun. That was,
Well, I think if you go knowing it's
juvenile and
it's
silly,
a Sonic
but
movie
it's cool.
ultimately.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think the character redesign saved that film because throughout that movie, I was just picturing the old design in there, and I was like, this would have been a very different movie if that had stayed in. So
I think also to look, I have not seen the movie, but I do think getting the talents of Jim Carrey was also very crucial.
Oh man, he hands it up like crazy in that film.
Like I think that's a great casting for that character.
Yeah.
So
100%, yeah. And like he definitely gets his more video gamey look by the end of that film, and I'm keen to see him do more weird shit.
Stuff in the
But
sequel.
Ben Schwartz as Sonic is real good.
Yeah.
Really, really good voice, and yeah, it's just fun. So
cool.
Keen to see more.
Let's end news on that little positive random nugget.
Yeah,
that's all this week.